You see the front covers over there, the one on your sheet,
Yeah.
on the table. Like, what do you lot think of it when you look at it?
I think serenity when I look at this one.
Why? Why do you say that?
Because it's a really pretty girl, but it's like the background is kind of cold and calming, and yeah, and the clothes she's wearing, she's not wearing bright colours, she's wearing black and white, so it's very excellent.
And this is like modern, how do you say it?
Can you just hold up that magazine for a second so we can see which one you're talking about? Okay, so that's the one they're talking about, the Life magazine. Okay, that's a free one. Although it's not like a hip-hop magazine, but it has a hip-hop artist on there. So yeah, thank you. Put it down. Like, Hasna, what do you think about it? Like,
when she's looking at you, it interacts with like the reader.
mhm,
That's a good way.
that's a good way. What about the others? What about that one? The one that says hip-hop on there.
I think
What do you
it's
think of
very, it draws you,
Mhm.
especially the person on the front cover.
Why? What does it draw you in? Like,
It makes you, it's like, and the font as well is very bold. It's very bold. It makes you want
More
to read.
masculine.
Yeah.
do you want to lift that up so we can see how that one looks like? Obviously, that's not in colour, but I have the coloured one, yeah. And lastly, what do you think of that one?
This one.
Yeah,
That's more
In front of
feminine.
Yeah.
Very sensual.
okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to lift that up?
You know.
The cat was covered with a head, so it says that the magazine's well known.
Yeah,
You can
okay.
still get the name of it without actually reading the
This
name.
one is for what do you call teenagers now, and it attracts the teenagers in because of the font that has been used and the clothes she's wearing.
Okay.
But that's masculine and more strong. That's feminine and fine.
I'd say this is more. Oh, sorry. I'd say this one's more of a gossip one, and also this one as opposed to the live one, because if you look at all the stories and pictures in the front, they're very like they're written in bold so that you turn and read those really quickly. Whereas this one, it hasn't really got any advertisements at the front of what to read inside.
So if you lot saw this, yeah, all three of them, which ones would you say is magazines? Pick two. Sorry, which one would you say is a hip hop magazine? If you saw all three of them, point it out.
This one
So
and
hold
the-
that up. So which one do you think is the hip hop magazine?
Well, I think this one.
Okay, Lade. So why do you think the one you're holding is a hip hop magazine? It could be open to any of you. Which one? Why do you think is a hip hop magazine?
I think it's this one because it's got an artist on, a well-known artist, and the name of the magazine's hip hop. That's a big clue.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if it,
can't
no, what I
prove
mean,
it
like,
now.
so if it didn't have the word hip hop behind it, yeah,
Oh,
how would you?
think,
Okay.
yeah.
And do you think that one, the one with the woman, is like a hip hop magazine? That one,
This
Vibe.
one?
No, the Vibe
Vibe.
one. Yeah, the one.
I wouldn't say hip hop. I would
Nothing on the
say
side, like,
yeah.
That
I would say
lives
more
here.
of a
Okay.
One sort of
Well, you guys
yeah,
are kind of
classical.
wrong because you see the Vibe magazine
yeah.
is actually a hip hop magazine, but can you see the difference? Because obviously, the hip hop one, the one that says hip hop on there, uses a lot of like men on there, and it seemed to be tough.
Of course.
Yeah, and the girls one is all like,
Sexy man.
and the girls are all like sexualized almost. So, how do you think women should be portrayed in like magazines,
I think they should
like
be
hip hop magazines?
covered up, wearing
Yeah.
tracksuits, no breast showing.
Yeah.
What about you,
Yes.
Hasna? Because obviously you're the boy. Like,
hip hop's like out there. Most magazines, other magazines, like they'll have naked.
and do you
But
think?
Like that.
I'm just saying most magazines like that. I'm just pointing that obvious, isn't it? Like for this one,
Yeah, the hip hop one.
hip hop. Yeah, it's like like he's wearing a flat peak, like, intimidating. And this one, it's not for like a masculine reader, like for women basically.
And what do you lot think of like the image in all three of them? Like, do you think you can relate to it? Like,
I think I can relate to the live
We're
one.
looking at
Yeah.
all three of them.
yeah, if you look at all three of them, including the one that's very obviously sexualized, like, which ones would you say you can relate to, and why would you say that?
The live one, because
Yeah.
the girl is looking right at me. She's black and I'm
All three
black,
of them.
so obviously, oh yeah,
So
all black as well. But I mean, like, she's more natural. Like, she's not
More
caked
now.
her makeup. She's not proper airbrushed and everything. Whereas I suspect this one is.
This one's more
Some-
older.
Which one? The Vibe one with the woman?
Vibe one,
Yeah.
the women, because it's for like people in their 20s or something like that. But this is what we are, sixth formers and stuff.
Yeah. for young people.
Yeah, because that's what we normally dress like, and we don't really wear that much foundation and stuff.
And plus, it says London's finest youth here.
Yeah.
And like London, we're from London,
Yeah.
but this one's an American one, I'm suspecting. so-
Okay, yeah, that's true. The hip hop one and the vibe one is American. Yeah.
That is. I can't hear it right.
So this is just about the front cover so far. So what do you lot think of like the images used? You already kind of mentioned that, but how do you think it relates to the text? Do you think it relates to the text or it doesn't? Especially with the life one, would you say the text works well with the image,
Yeah.
or would you say it doesn't?
I
It
think
will,
it does
it
because
does.
of the way she wears hoodie and then
The writing.
The
And plus
writing.
it says knock you out.
Yeah.
Knock you out.
Okay, what about the other two? Well, obviously, yeah, the other two, the hip hop one and the vibe one.
Right over the person,
Mhm.
but the writing like in yellow is like a bold colour. It catches someone's eye. Like, someone can look at it and relate to it straight away.
Okay.
And the hip hop magazine, like
Yeah.
Back to Beef and 50 Cent's face looks very straight and
It's short.
ready to, yeah. But then, whereas this one, I don't think it relates to the writing because there's nothing there.
The
that-
vibe one, the woman
Yeah.
sexualized.
Because there's nothing sexual on the cover apart
I
from
think
her.
hip-hop. I think about hip-hop as well.
and the font is all the same.
Okay, so in that case, for the last question for the front cover, do you not think that there's too much text in all of them?
No,
Like-
I think this one is fine.
This
So
one's
which
fine.
one would you say is there's too much text?
I would say
This
this.
That
one.
yeah.
I would also say
The hip hop
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Hip-hop one got too
And
much
this
text.
one, I think this live one is perfect.
So if you were to buy a
I'd
magazine,
buy it.
yeah, if you were to buy a magazine, yeah, which one would attract
I'll
you?
pick that.
The
That
one
one
with
plus
a lot of writing.
Actually, let me not lie, this wouldn't attract me because I like the gossip in hip hop.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you open the live one and then turn to the contents page for that one, like yeah. Okay, so if you look at the contents page, what do you think a hip hop magazine should include?
I think it should have like the latest
Mm-hmm.
songs there for music, come out interviews with famous rappers, chances for prize giveaways,
Should have like
like tickets and stuff.
pictures from like contests and like that you can relate to, like famous artists on there, like, well recognised, and not too much writing on there. Pictures, because people just want to probably relate to the pictures, like a picture of a concert. What do you say they've got it? What are you talking about? His concert, something like that.
And do you think like the colours, Priyanka, do you think the colours kind of like works well in terms of the contents page, or do you think there's too much like images rather than like writing?
What, on the live one?
Yeah, in all two of them, like both of them, like that one and the live one.
I think. So, are you asking me which one would I prefer?
No. Do you think there's too much text in the like contents
I
page?
think too much text
Instead of
is in
images.
the hip hop magazine because our content normally has a title, it doesn't have extra information underneath it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's good for all like the. I think there should be a lot of text on the contents page because it should have like the name of the page and a little description of what it's about. So then it would catch you. It would kind of like leave you in suspense, wanting you to read more.
But if a person's going to buy a magazine, they're going to look through all the pages.
You also look through how much it is and how many pages it's got in
Yeah.
there. If it's worth buying, like this one, it's like
The hip hop one,
it's
yeah,
like $2.75, and
yeah.
it's got 70 pages.
Mhm.
So they look at that. If it's got enough pages, it's monthly or weekly.
Okay. And if you turn to the double page spread, this is the double page spread for the hip hop one. If you turn to that one, I think it's on page 36, Priyanka, the vibe one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's that one. So do you want to show it to the camera? Like the double page spread. That's the one we're discussing. And that's the one for hip hop one. Okay, so what do you lot think of like the image? Do you think it relates well with the like the article?
This one.
Like when you
relates
first
to-
spot it?
But this one's go back to the person on the front cover.
Mhm.
It relates like it looks at one magazine.
Mhm.
Say with that one, it's both like the artist on the front, so on the double page spread.
So what do you think of the pose that they've used, like the pose where the artist has been placed in?
Yeah, I think this one is very like. Because what draws me to this page where it says guys.
This is
not
the
all
vibe.
girls
This
are-
is the live one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It says guys, not all girls are going to wear dresses and talk about being in love. And the girl is very like dressed like tomboyish, and she's very like
Sporty.
empowering and sporty. Yeah.
So if you turn to the next page in the live one, there should be another double page spread there.
Okay.
So do you think like the
Yes.
pose works well with
Yeah.
the article, or in terms of the live magazine?
Yeah.
In that case,
Definitely.
like how?
It's very like It's got bold parts here in it, and you can, even without me reading the article, I can tell the type of person she is, that she's very like sporty, and the way she's posing, and she's very laid back like a tomboy, which is what her character is kind of.
Hassan, do you think, like, in terms of, obviously there's not a lot of women in hip hop, like, do you think the pose where she's been placed, obviously that's not the norm in hip hop magazine, like, do you think it relates to the article? Would you say it relates to the article?
It says about like women in the first double page spread.
Yeah.
And then the picture goes with it. The writing, like I said, I want people to look at and say that Roxanne's XXN, that's triple X, and it's like sporty, and she's wearing she's like in a changing room. So like.
So overall, you say it relates both of them, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So, what do you think the story's about when you first look at the double page spread in Life magazine first? When you look at it, what do you think the story's of? Sports for Why did you say that?
Because the way she dressed with the hoodie and
And the second one, she's like in her bed.
Yeah.
I think it's about music. Like, I think the pictures are, obviously, I think in the article she's talking about the sort of person she is, so that's how the pictures relate to it in a sense. But I think the article itself is about music and like how she wants to be different.
Okay. And what about the other one, in the hip hop one?
That's more with the article. It's like, it says Beef King, and he stood up straight with his shoulders wide.
Okay. So last question. Would you lot buy a magazine if there was a girl at the front, Hassan, first? Because obviously you're a boy.
It depends what I'll buy it. But it depends what kind of what's it about. If it's related to hip hop, it's like it's a random girl, and then obviously not. But if it's related to hip hop, then probably yes.
What about you, the girls? Like, would you buy a hip hop magazine if there was a woman on the front cover?
Yeah, I would.
All right. Thank you.